Welcome to the Hot Seat SA, where we cut through the noise and look at the facts others avoid. Tonight we revisit the dramatic arrest of Advocate Teffo, right inside the Senzo Meyiwa trial courtroom. An arrest that stunned the nation, left questions unanswered, and continues to cast a long shadow over the case. But now images circulating online have sparked new suspicions. They show a man who appears close to General Shadrack Sibiya, and the same man seemingly present during Teffo's arrest. If true, this detail could flip the narrative entirely. Let's rewind to that shocking day. The court session had barely settled when police officers moved in on Advocate Malesela Teffo. Cameras rolled as he was grabbed, humiliated, and marched out of court in full public view. The country gasped. Was this justice or intimidation?
You're supposed to go to court and you don't go to court. So what are I'm the investigating officer. I speak with our manager. No, that's a different case. It's not my responsibility to give you a court. I could have not responsibility to give it to my wife it's not my responsibility to give you a court date. Where? What that's I think we'll do this one. You don't have to it's not about fighting. It's not about kidnapping. It's like a lot of the case against me. No, you're not going to case against me. You don't have a permission.
Authorities claim the arrest was linked to an old contempt of court matter, but many South Africans weren't buying it. Why inside court? Why in front of the media? Why at that exact moment, after Teffo had started pointing fingers at powerful figures? Now, here's where it gets interesting. Take a look at this image. General Shadrack Sibiya speaking at a press briefing. Behind him, circled, is a man in a maroon jacket with sunglasses hanging on his chest. Harmless, right? Now compare it to this photo, taken inside court on the very day Advocate Teffo was arrested. A man in a black jacket, same facial features, standing just meters away from the chaos. The resemblance is striking. So the burning question, is this the same man? If so, what was his role? Was he simply a close protection officer? Or was he involved in something bigger? Let's pause for some facts. A close protection officer, or bodyguard, has one job: protect the principal. In this case, General Sibiya. They are not investigators, not arresting officers, and certainly not courtroom enforcers. By law, unless there's a direct physical threat to their principal, they cannot interfere. So if indeed a bodyguard stepped into the courtroom chaos around Advocate Teffo, that breaks the golden rule of protection work. It raises the possibility that his arrest wasn't just about an old case, but about silencing someone who was touching nerves at the highest levels.
Why would Teffo be seen as a threat? Because he had just dropped bombshells in court. He alleged that the crime scene where Senzo Meyiwa was shot was tampered with by high-ranking officials. And among the names he mentioned, General Shadrack Sibiya. These were explosive allegations, not proven, not tested in court, but enough to rattle powerful cages. Within days of making them, Teffo was gone from the case, sidelined, and his credibility shredded in the media. The timing speaks for itself. Now, tie this back to the images. If a bodyguard linked to Sibiya was indeed in that courtroom moment, then the story of Teffo's arrest takes on a darker edge. Because that would mean his arrest wasn't a random enforcement of a warrant, it was coordinated, deliberate, and possibly connected to the very allegations he had just made. This is where ordinary South Africans start asking, was Teffo punished not for contempt, but for speaking truths that were too uncomfortable? Of course, we must be fair. It's possible that the resemblance is coincidence, or that the man in question was simply present but uninvolved. Critics argue that Teffo had disciplinary issues long before this trial, and that his arrest was purely procedural. That remains one side of the story. But when the timing looks this suspicious, when the optics are this messy, South Africans cannot be blamed for doubting the official line. What this moment reminds us is how the Senzo Meyiwa trial has never been just about one man's tragic death. It has exposed cracks in policing, injustice, and in the way power shields itself. From missing dockets to conflicting testimonies to now, the image of a possible bodyguard in the middle of a courtroom arrest. Every piece of this puzzle adds to the sense that the full truth about Senzo Meyiwa's death remains hidden in plain sight. So now we ask you, the viewers, look at these images again. Do you think it's the same man? And if so, what does it say about why Advocate Teffo was dragged out of court that day? Was it justice served or justice interrupted? This is the Hot Seat Essay. Drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe for more hard-hitting breakdowns, and let's keep asking the questions others won't touch. Until next time, stay sharp.
You say whether I'm guilty or not, but I can safely tell you that I'm actually waiting for a positive outcome. I do know that I am not involved in any wrongdoing, and we will be clear.
Okay, but did you interfere or not interfere in the disbanding of the PKTT?
I never interfered, and what I also can say is that in the whole system, it can't be that I'm the only one who interfered, who did this and that. Over and above, there are many people that are in the system with a matter that has been handled since January, with a lot of feedback being given, a lot of meetings being held, going in and out of Parliament discussing the same matter. Now, how do you then pin it on one individual and say this person did 1, 2, 3, 4?
Okay, so you're saying you agreed with the National Commissioner that the PKTT should be gradually phased out?
Look, there is correspondence in that regard that explain what happened, and that correspondence will be properly ventilated in court.
Welcome to the fire where the stakes ignite, where the questions burn hotter than the night. No escape once you're locked in the heat. This is your trial on the hot seat.